Ah, is this me? I can't tell.
MH4.
All right.
For what?
All right.
MH4.
This is
I haven't played that.
this is a new review that's coming out. The Weekly Metal Reviews review here on Weekly Metal Reviews reviewing. So on the title you saw was Node, the new album by the band Northlane. If I'm correct, this is their third album. Their first album, I believe, Discoveries, I never listened to that one too much. I really caught on with Singularity. That was really a good album, so that's where most of my Northlane experience comes from, listening to them. And then they put out Node. There was one change to the band with the members. The singer Adrian left. I think it was due to like some like voice issues, like vocal abilities and stuff. That, you know, it was I don't know, it was doing more harm than good in a way. So that kind of sucked, because he was a very good singer with the yelling and stuff, but so much as singing, I feel like they ended up getting a new singer, and they went into that direction actually with the singer singing. They got Marcus, just I believe from YouTube, because they held auditions and everything, and so they picked Marcus, who is much more of a singer but can do the yelling and screaming and that such and sorts and bits and pieces of stuff. I sound like an old person when I say that. Doing the screaming and the yelling and so yeah, this album definitely shifted more toward that way with singing. It still has the screaming, but it's much more singing based, and I feel that Marcus actually has a very, very good voice when it comes to singing and fitting this style of music. The problem I have with this style of music, the thing that kind of catches me in a way, is that the changes they made to their music itself, in a way, dulled a lot of things. I feel that on Singularity, you look at I don't know, Windbreaker. Much more upbeat, you know, louder, more energy, I feel. And this album, I feel it kind of lacks energy. It's very produced, and it sounds like from the start, it sounds like I don't like it, but in ways I do like this album. I don't think it's, you know, I'm not going to say it's crap, but I would be lying if I say it wasn't I would be lying if I said it's not produced or it's as energetic. It's not. It's really not. It's much more toned back, I think. And I wish they would have kind of found some middle ground with still having that energy and those upbeat songs. But I've like Dream Awake, for instance. It's much. I remember back when they held their auditions, I watched some of the audition tapes of people that were auditioning. Just got screwing around on YouTube or something. I didn't have anything to do, and I found that the singer that they have now, Marcus, did an audition video for Dream Awake, and he nailed that song like perfectly. It's much more upbeat and energetic, like I was saying, but so it shows that he can kind of fit that style. So I don't know, they just toned it back. I didn't like that, but they do have some good songs in here. The first song they released, well, it wasn't for the album, it was just kind of a separate thing, the song Rot. I like that, but that's kind of the perfect example of like the pace, I feel, changing from Singularity. Just the pace is slowed down, and it's not heavier, I think. Someone could argue definitely and say, oh, it's heavier, this and that, but I just feel it's produced, and it sounds that produced. I feel that Singularity is heavier, so much more energy, so much more interesting. 'Cause I feel some songs like on this album, see I think it's Nameless. You got like Nameless, Weightless. Well, Weightless was pretty good. And Nameless, I think, are two songs definitely from the third and fourth tracks that I don't know, kind of felt like when I listened to this album, I don't feel as connected to those. Where I think pretty much all of the singles that they released from this album, where they re-released Rot, they kind of re-recorded it, reproduced it. Leech is really good, and I think Raw is my favorite song on this entire album. It actually has some energy and some singing parts that are really cool. But it just seems that the album has some parts and some songs that are really cool, whereas other parts, I don't want to say filler, but they're just kind of there, and they're good, they're cool, but they're just kind of there. Especially when you and it's hard not to compare them to what they did on Singularity, but I felt like Middle Ground would have been much better to still have like this energetic feeling and still carry some weight as a band. Where I feel that this album is slower, and that slower doesn't always translate to bad or boring, but in some ways I feel that this album was less interesting. And that's really what it comes down to, how interesting Singularity was with, but I still think this is good. Just like I said, it has its flaws. I mean, I could go down the line. The drumming is okay. Guitars are okay. I think the thing that doesn't stand out that I wanted to stand out was Marcus's singing. I thought he was going to shine a lot more, and he does, but it's just sort of the production of the album, I feel in some ways kind of holds him back, where I really want to hear him sing, like I said, Dream Awake, or he did this really cool, like a cover of an instrumental song, but he had lyrics to it, from Singularity, where it is the song Singularity. It was an instrumental, he had lyrics to it, and it was such a cool song. I thought they were going to do something more like that, and they kind of did that with Weightless, but not really what I wanted, I guess. I'm not saying they held him back, or I just felt like he has much more room in front of him, and it's just kind of a cushion to go with something safe in a way. But overall, I would give Node maybe I would give it like a 7.5 out of 10. I feel like that's fair as a rating. It's good, but it could just be so much better. And this band is so talented that I feel like that's what's kind of working against them in some ways. And it's different, and it's sort of, you could say they're doing some different things, but different isn't always good. And changing isn't always good. You want a band to change and evolve and things, but I just felt like they lost part of what made Northlane. I felt like they could have retained that even after Adrian left. It's not really about Adrian. I just felt like they could have retained that in the music and not went in as much of a different direction. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10. It's not that bad. Above average. Definitely not like the best album of the year, but it might grow on me. I don't really see that potential there, but it's possible. So yeah, that's a view. But check it out, listen to it on your own. They have the whole albums up on YouTube, or I'm sure iTunes or whatever music site. So yeah, listen to it.